Hello everybody, and it is 5:45 in the UK, so that makes it 15 minutes until we go live with the tour, which is a revisit to Brac Island, and hopefully we're going to enjoy walking through the cemetery, walking along the coast, seeing the sea, and generally having lovely weather. So hello everybody. Hello Nikki, long time no see, how are you? Hello Emma of the Braesby. Hello Tricia, how are you? It's been a lovely day, dare I say it, in Kent, which is rather nice. Hi Susan. We've had sun and everything. It's been quite astonishing. And then Friday we had sun, Saturday we had sun. Friday I even did gardening. Much overgrown shrubbery. Hello Anne. So did a bit of choppy. Oh bless you, I'm pleased to hear that. Hello Wendy, David and Daisy. Sorry, I was distracted by the boot or bootless comment. Now, somebody said hi, Margaret. Now, how can they say hi, Margaret, when I can't see Margaret? Hello, Kathy. Are you seeing things I can't see? Do I need my special specs to see chats that aren't there or that are there? Or is it the ghost chat? Sat on your veranda. How wonderful. Yes, it really was glorious on Friday, and I was very happily choppy. Now I've got distracted. We've got boots, we've got teeth. What happened with Wendy's teeth? Hello, Margaret. Well, I didn't see you. Turnip? Who's a turnip? And today I was outside and putting stuff in the recycling bin, because I do like to recycle. And my neighbour called Leonie. I was like, yes, hello. She said, do you have a black cat or a blacky brown cat? I said, oh, it's blue, he's blacky brown. I have Apollo, but he's a black and white, so there's also a black. She said, well, I put out some bread for the birds this morning and he was eating them. And I was like, He wasn't eating the birds, to be clear, he was eating the bread. And I was like, well, he really shouldn't be. Hello, Claire, darling. My hair's looking especially nice. Well, I'll tell you the secret. You may have seen the photo on Leonie of Tour of me wearing this face mask. Well, of course, I had to put my hair into a, ponytail, scrunchy thing. And then I suddenly realised I needed to take it out of the ponytail scrunchy thing. So it's all a bit boing. Yes, so Blue's been eating stale bread. So that's marvellous. I was like, look, I know you have severe IBD and or cancer, but we have standards to maintain. Although actually, perhaps we should have taken that opportunity to tell her that bread isn't that great for birds, and could she maybe use some sort of seed nut thing? Seed nut? Seed nuts? Nuts? Not nuts. Seeds, bird seeds, and other things. I did it, didn't I, on the Leybourne Lake store. Don't remember actually saying nuts. I think it was seeds and nuts, something in a dairy milk. Bit of chocolate. So how is everybody? I don't know about you, but it's much nicer being in March. Because apart from the fact it's my birthday month, huzzah! My sister's birthday month, huzzah! My mother's birthday month, huzzah, Mother's Day, huzzah. Lots happens in March, but I just feel that we've turned the corner. Although it is -3 tonight, I do feel that with the sun, we will be just, having little sun dances and sitting out, and it'll be wonderful. Of course, for those of you who aren't actually in England or indeed Great Britain, I do apologise, because the weather might be absolutely atrocious where you are. Sorry. So what else has been going on? I went to Tenterden with a friend yesterday. Tenterden is somewhere that I would like to take you at some point. Parking's rather expensive and it's about 50 minutes away. which is why it hasn't been visited as yet, but it's rather a nice place. Went to a garden centre, and because it's my birthday month, I managed, they gave me a free pair of gardening gloves, which is, see, a woman of a certain age, how excited. New gardening gloves. I'm so rock and roll. So rock and roll. So who of you there with me on my first visit when I was actually in Croatia? Oh, I've got the snowman in shot. I really ought to put you down, as in not put you down, but maybe hide you. It's not very, it's not really the time or the place for a snowman. Tenterden, yes. The trouble is, it just takes so long to do the research for a tour. Can't really just drive down and go, there you go, here's Tenterden. So that's why these things, I've got so many places I want to take you that I've actually done signal tests, but unfortunately not the time to spend doing the research. What can I say? Still, at least there's lovely places. I'm also going to be going to Faversham hopefully this week to do a signal test and have a nose around. But yes, there's Cranbrook. There's just so many places. Where did I see Sheerness? Saw that the other day on one of my photos. I thought, oh, that would make a nice tour. So where are all our little friends? What are they up to? It says to me, not that I necessarily believe it, that there are 13 people online. Haven't had my dinner yet. Have you all eaten? Depending, of course, what time it is. It's, what, about 8 minutes to 6? I probably should have eaten before the tour, but 6 o'clock's a bit of a strange time, isn't it? Because then you're eating at 5 o'clock, which might be a wee bit early. But by the time, I know, there are all so many beautiful Kent towns and villages around here. I need a time machine, or somebody will do all my research for me. But it would need to be done in exactly the way I would do it, and that only person is obviously me. So, just trying to think if I've got anything else exciting to tell you. Got the week off next week, so got a few lunch dates. And my sister's birthday, did I say? So, I'm going to be watching Bridget Jones, which I think is going to be funny and sad all at the same time. Emma went out for breakfast. Hello, Laurie. David said he's waiting for his dinner. He's such a deprived man. Well, David, you are also more than capable of cooking. Let me just put it out there. And while you're doing theirs, can you make me some? Hello, Pizzazz. Yes, I need to stop talking about food because I'm getting hungry now. I left the I haven't got any water either, so I'm dehydrated and wasting away. It's going well. Oh, you've watched the film twice. Good Lord. Both at the cinema, I assume, rather than it's not out. It's not out on DVD yet. Oh, I'm showing my age. Not being released yet onto any of these streaming. Oh, I'm sorry, I've started. Hi, PA. PA. Who? Oh, Pizzazzy. I'm so glad Lethargy wrote that. It could have taken me days to work out what PA. Obviously, it's going to be a interesting tour if my brain's not working. So it's streaming. Oh, it's streaming on Peacock. Oh, I don't even know what Peacock is. I assume it's like Netflix or something like that. Oh, I think it came out in the cinema about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It's not been out uber long, but I guess that's the US got things first then. outrageous. Well, that's Friday night, going out for a meal in Wildwood. It's all very exciting. A meal out the cinema. I have not been to the cinema, as I said last time, not for yonks. Not since before COVID, I don't think. And I could not tell you for the life of me what film it was. Oh, I did. I know this, and I told you last time it was Frozen 2 or 3. And I should actually... Amazon Prime. It won't be on Amazon Prime, the local to us Amazon Prime. It's in the HBC Universal Streaming Service, cheap if you have it there. Never heard of it, but I don't pay for any of these things anyway. I use the bog standard Freeview that you get in the UK. So basically we have BBC One, BBC Two, BBC Three, no, BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 3, Channel 4 and Channel 5. Those are the main top 5 channels. And I tend to really watch things on there. I find that still gives me more than enough to watch. I think the older I get, the less time I spend watching television. I used to watch it for hours at a time. But I do like a good binge. You've been to the cinema a lot lately, Lethargy. What have you been watching? What have I been missing out on? I know there was Gladiator, the sequel. Maybe I'll get hooked again when I go on Friday. Cinema is in the Loch Meadow complex, which is at the end of the walk I take you to. I take you down the river when we look across the bridge, and on the left there's the Stag. That's the Loch Meadow complex, which has got bowling, which I'm rubbish at, some restaurants and the cinema. Wicked, Conclave, Bridget Jones and Better Man. Oh yes, the monkey one with Robbie Williams. Is that any good? Wicked I would like to see, actually. And Conclave, I'm not sure I know that one, although I possibly do and have forgotten. This is like a quiz. And I'm wondering whether or not Madame Pesh is outside. That would be a negatory. Madame Pesh. Yeah, I used to love it. I actually used to write film reviews many moons ago. That was for Hospital Radio. Hello, Claire's mummy Mary. He made a good chimp. Yes, very strange. That'll be a wait till it comes out on TV one, I think. How is Mummy Claire? Let's have a nose at the old time. I've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. I'm guessing Linda hasn't been able to join us because she's spending time with the Who's Band. I'm just going to put my cosy slippers on, so excuse me for one moment while you see the side of my face. I've decided that actually, seeing as I forgot to turn the heating on in this room, I should perhaps get myself a little bit snuggled up, otherwise I will be very chilly. And that was a bit of a belly rumble there, I think, as well, so that's attractive. No Michael either, so if he joins, please do let him know he's on the naughty step. And I make it very soon we will be going for takeoff. How exciting. Now there's lots of things for me to show you, so it could go catastrophically even wrong, but I'll try my best. Right, it is indeed 6 o'clock on the nose, so welcome. Leslie's not here, is she? So welcome to my basically bits and bobs tour of Brac Island. Got a few things to share with you, which hopefully you'll enjoy. As you know, guides are not paid. We rely on the generosity of your tips. As you also know, most of you have been having endless problems with Buy Me a Coffee. They've now taken at least 2 weeks and not replied to my email, so I prefer PayPal, if you please. Let me have a look at where we're going to start off. So what we're going to start off in, and this one, if Tina watches on Catch Up, should be very pleased because this is a map. So we're first going to be looking at well, I'll tell you what I'll do actually, is I'll actually share the video of the walk up to the cemetery, which some of you may have been with you. Hi Trista, oh Linda is there. Hello Linda, husband allowed you out, splendid. So we're just going to have this, it's a short video just so you can get into perspective where the cemetery is. Oh. Now what I will also say is, let me see if I can reduce the volume somewhat. I appear to be increasing the volume somewhat. So this was taken from the actual tour and it was raining. So, so ignore me because you don't need to. She's passing up a Home Depot trip. I'll be honest, I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound as good as this will be, hopefully. So this is obviously when I stayed on Supetar. And you'll see there were those fabulous inflatables. However, what we're actually looking at now is we're coming to the ruins of a Roman villa, which is called a Villa Rustica. And basically it means country house. This is from the 6th century. So what you can see is the remains of some walls. And I mean, it's interesting really when you think I was walking around it willy-nilly. But obviously some remains just all over the place. It needs a lot of imagination, I think, to think about, especially in the context of that green and yellow inflatable. Think of it in the context of actually being a beautiful country house. And what was also interesting is if you think about when obviously the Romans came to Croatia, and think about their mode of transport that they would have taken to go from the main island, so from Split no doubt, and actually come across by boat to Supetar, and then actually gone, well, we'll settle. We'll settle here. And imagine the view that they would have had living in that villa. And I think that's just rather a nice view they'd have had without, because I'm quite sure in Roman days there weren't any inflatables. Just a thought. Now, we're then going to go, and where we're going up to is the villa. Now, not the villa, sorry, the cemetery. And I just want you to kind of bear this in your mind's eye, as it were, when we're walking around. So what you can see is on the left, just very straight rows of obviously tombs. Then you've got the large, basically very large tomb on the left. Then you're going down. You can see obviously there's a chapel. Now, interestingly enough, I spent ages trying to find Ivan Rendik's tombs, and I have a horrible feeling now I'm at home, I'm looking, you can see there are some of these are highlighted yellow, and I have an awful feeling those might be the ones. And had I actually looked at this properly while I was there at the time, that would have saved me a huge amount of time. But anyway, and this is just that visual sort of view from above. And so again, you can see, sorry, Linda's dog has just stepped on the remote and shut me off, which is incredibly rude, I would say. And you can see how it looks from above, which is for quite fascinating actually. Right, so let's close that down now. Oh, the trouble is it's very close, that cross to the end, and I do not want to be in a position of closing it off. Now we have two choices. I have the original speed video which I took, which is one I'm going to play you. However, if it is too fast, what I did was, for the miracle of science, I actually saved it as a slower version. So if anybody think it's too quick, because obviously I was walking around on my own, then we can do that one. So I always think these are so grand. And what I would say is also that there's obviously, as you can see, and I don't know if any of you came with Andrea when she was going around Croatia and showing the cemetery there, how people, you know, obviously leaving flowers and little ornaments and visiting. And the sun, as you can tell, was rather wonderful. So these are the main gates. Ignore the green bins, they're not that exciting. So if you look, there was that uniform kind of approach as we come in. And again, of course, you can tell we're in Croatia. So these are the newer. I mean, I'm going to talk to you in a moment about that beautiful mausoleum, but I'm going to try and get myself in the right order. Now, one of the reasons why this cemetery is on kind of well, the reason really it's on the kind of the tourist notes is, apart from that fabulous mausoleum that you're looking at, is that there are 12 pieces of artwork of Ivan Rendik's in the cemetery. Now, he was born in 1849 and died in 1932, and he was considered the father of modern Croatian sculpture. There's actually an Ivan Rendik gallery in the centre of Supetar. Now, the mausoleum you're looking at, interestingly enough, wasn't designed by him. So that's not one of those 12 pieces of his artwork. Now, interestingly enough, the day Supetar celebrates its patron saints of St. Peter and Paul, as well as being the day of the city, is the 29th of June 1932. And unbelievably, the day that Ivan Rendik died was on the 29th. Sorry, not 1932, just the 29th of June is annual. And Ivan Rendik actually died on the 29th of June 1932. So he actually died on the day of the city. And some believe that was obviously fate, that would happen. Now, according to some records, on the 29th of June, 267 AD, so quite a long time before Ivan Rendik was creating his sculptures, that's when both the saints were martyred in Rome. So that's why you have the celebration of both those saints on that day. However, it's unlikely, and I'm going to interrupt myself because obviously what you can see here is an empty tomb, and you can see obviously the different shelves, as it were, where you can actually, so these tombs are obviously family tombs, which you used to in the UK be able to get family burial plots, but obviously those I think it's quite nice almost being with family in the afterlife, as it were. I'd stayed in Supetar lorry on Brac Island. It's spelt BRC, but it's actually Brac, which obviously isn't easy to say. So as I say, I interrupted myself. So it's very unlikely they both died on the same day. It's more likely that they chose that day because there was a pagan festival on that day that they wanted to replace, and it was called the Feast of Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome. So they wanted to replace that pagan festival with a Christian festival. Now, Rendick made about 200 statues. The most famous works of art of famous Croatians, and you still find these across the country. Why did I choose there? Because I've always wanted to go to Croatia, and it looked rather lovely. I would like to go to all of Croatia. And I also love walking around cemeteries. It was incredibly peaceful. And even this seems like a bit of a work of art, but it's just basically a sink. The green bins, not so much. It's a shame they couldn't get maybe a light beige for the cemetery. And that sun is really... You can see on the corner right, that sun there. Well, who knows? Do ghosts haunt this cemetery? I would imagine if there is such a thing as ghosts, they would definitely haunt this cemetery. And obviously you can see there's obviously weathering and discoloration on the on that stone. But it's Brac stone, which is a famous stone used in building in Croatia. And many churches and buildings, including the Diocletian's Palace in Split, use this Brac stone. Now, it decorated the lobby of the United Nations building in New York, the Parliament and New Palace in Vienna, the Parliament in Budapest, the Governor's Palace in Trieste. So as you can see, it's a very popular stone. Now there were rumours it was used in the White House, but there's actually no evidence of that. It's a milky white limestone, but it's classified as a natural white commercial marble of sedimentary origin, which made me think then it's elementary, dear Watson. And this is just a fabulous, I love this. It really was just, and then of course you have the view, and you can hear the bells faintly there because I've got the noise on low, and lots of bins everywhere to keep the litter down, I think, but that's just stunning, isn't it? I mean, I can't wait to go back to Croatia. I don't obviously know it's going to have such a lovely time like I did in Brac, but I can't see how I wouldn't. And hopefully you can hear the bells there, faintly in the background. And again, you're just walking along and then suddenly you see things like this. Fortunately, my plan is to get cremated, so there won't be any exciting tomb or gravestone for me. Now, the oldest tomb dates from 1740, and there's also, if I can say this right, there's a couple of early Christian sarcophagi around here as well. Oh, Laurie, I think all of the islands in Croatia take tourists. I'm not really, I would prefer to, although Split and Dubrovnik are obviously beautiful, I think Dubrovnik's more of a, rather than a week, it's probably more of a short city break. You can see the, yeah, it does, doesn't it, Wendy? It does just look very nicely looked after, and it's in just such a peaceful setting. And it just looks loved, I think, which is so important. Hi, Robin. And of course, we've got the small church of St. Nicholas. This gatework is rather lovely. And you think actually with the sea air, the salt in the wind, it would be in a worse condition actually. And there you can see Rendick. So this is one of the pieces of work from Ivan Rendick. Quite spectacular. I guess every so often they have to clean the stone. And again, Ivan Rendick. And this beautiful, look at that. Both sides. And this is actually the grave of Ivan Rendick. So this very modest stone tomb had added the shoes and cane and an engraving of his famous saying, "Where is Rendick?" It was by local artist Danny Martinic, who was born in 1987, so obviously done after Rendick died. And his life, unfortunately, ended in poverty. With a lot of these artists, their work is only appreciated after they have passed on. What we're looking at there is the Petronovic family mausoleum. It was built in Byzantine style with white Brac stone by sculptor Thomas Rozandik. No, not this one, obviously the very large. There you go. Now, it was actually made for Frano Petronovic, who travelled to Chile as a stowaway. He became rich, a ship owner and a mine owner. Now, he was born in 1882 and died in New York in 1951. He was one of the founders of the Yugoslav National Defence in 1915, through which he also financed the Yugoslav Committee in London during World War I. And research indicates he was part of the Yugoslav Shipping Committee in 1941 after Yugoslavia had been attacked by the Axis in World War II. Now, he lived in London from 1922 to 1939, and in 1939 onwards, until his death, he lived in New York. And he married Constance Worth. She was born in Rawdon, West Yorkshire. She was an actress, and they married in 1927. So he was 45 and she was 35. They had one child. Now, Constance acted in silent cinema films between 1919 and 1923. She was the female lead in the Dutch-British co-production called Fate's Plaything. Now, what I will show you in a moment is through that keyhole. I've taken a photo of through the keyhole because unfortunately you can't really see. So it just won't focus there, so I'll share a photo with you. So in Fate's Plaything, her character runs away with a dancer on the eve of her engagement. She gets pregnant and escapes him when he becomes violent. She finds safety with a hunchback bachelor. Years later, a doctor saves the life of her child, and it turns out he's her ex-fiancé, and they get back together. Now imagine all of that in a silent movie. Now, the sculptor here, Toma Rosendick, was inspired by world-famous Croatian sculptor Ivan Mestronovic. Now, the mausoleum, interestingly enough, was originally going to be built by Ivan Rendick, but his order was cancelled. So that's quite strange. Now, Toma was actually held captive by German forces in World War II. And this is just absolutely spectacular. The amount of work. Now, it was built in 1927 and rumoured to cost £1 million, which doesn't really surprise me. So he led an interesting life, travelled to Chile, made a fortune, married an actress, and has the most spectacular mausoleum in Supetar Cemetery. The doors are just fantastic. And I would imagine, to be fair, these are normal Croatians getting buried here, but obviously not not some of the spectacular tombs that we're seeing. But there are obviously especially as we came in, the more newer tombs. This one I think is really interesting. I just love the door. And again, this is an Ivan Rendick. And you can't see anything in there, so not really. So I will share a photo with you when this stream ends as well. Well, not when this stream, when the video ends. It'd be a little bit pointless sharing a video with you once I've stopped talking. And also I think it's the inclusion of the trees. So it's not just a bare cemetery. It's got the greenery as well. And we are being spoilt with the colours in the sky. Look at that. I think that's partly why, one of the reasons why I love Croatia so much is obviously because of the greenery and the coast. So it's not just bare. And we'll have a trot among some trees later on in the tour. It's very, very much kind of, yeah, wow. And that's not just me holding on for a very long time. That's actually me the end of the video. So obviously, as I showed you before, you can see obviously there the inside of the tomb. So that's how it looks. This is the signature. Well, not the signature, but the mark of Ivan Rendick, which I think is obviously really helpful if you're trying to find his work, which I was. And when I spoke to you about his saying is, where is Rendick? So you can see at the top, where is Rendick? I'm assuming none of you necessarily can read Croatian. The door, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. Just those colours all working together is just splendid. And as I promised you, there you will see if you're looking through the keyhole, you would obviously see the crucifixion. Well, not the crucifixion itself, obviously. Christ on the crucifix. And just got a 3-minute video now, which is just going back there. Now this was taken in the rain. This is towards the end of my tour, but I wanted you to see this because, well, I won't tell you why. I'll just let the video show you. You can probably hear me talking over myself. I'm going to have to increase the volume at some point because there's definitely a video that I want you to hear the volume. And you can see this is the original tour when we went round, and it was absolutely pouring with rain. Yes, I just love that picture. It took me a while to get it. But yes, I'm glad you appreciate it. And this is us going back in. Going back in. Do we see any more? Oh, wait. Oh. It's fascinating, isn't it? To actually have the metalwork. And the little fly that obviously wanted to get in on the stream. It would be fascinating to go inside actually and see more. So there we are, walking towards the back again, as we did just one moment ago. Sorry. Trotting up the stairs without falling over. Go me. Let's have a look at Once the Umbrella. Here you are. This is why I wanted to. Well, no, not yet. Obviously, I'm not going to do the grand reveal then, apparently. There you go. There is indeed the rainbow that you can just faintly see through. No cats at all in this cemetery, no. But this is obviously because it did rain rather a lot. And then the sun came out. We were treated to this wonderful rainbow. Unfortunately, I have no idea what's at the end of the rainbow because it's a jolly large rainbow. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's actually just pretty much going up to the top of the tree. And again, I'm sure I'm saying something really fascinating. I would turn. The trouble is that for some reason on my phone, the little bit that holds my phone in play with the gimbal is exactly where the volume button is. So it's a complete pain trying to adjust the volume. And that's that one done. So what have we got now? Ah, yes. So we'll see. Just see inside, where I couldn't show you obviously with the lighting. Then what we're going to do now is we're going to be walking outside of the cemetery, and we're going to be walking back towards the sea. So this is the very first part where we came in. Let me see if I can actually reduce the volume slightly. There you are. Oops. That's better. I'll just have to... You can see the rain was pouring down at this stage. Well, not pouring. That's a bit of a dramatisation. But it's rather wet. When there was a rainbow's end in your yard, the end kept moving. Well, I guess that's... It's all about, is it about refraction of light or something like that? I guess that it would keep moving. So obviously this wall and it can get locked. Again, the mausoleum, which I just think. Well, that's Laurie. It's an interesting question. If I love cemeteries, why get cremated? There's a difference between loving going to a cemetery and enjoying, you know, the peace and respect for the dead. and actually wanting to be buried. I suppose maybe I'll get cremated and distributed in a cemetery. Do you know what, Mike? I have been wondering where you are, and I did say when you join, which I said in the pre-live, you'll be on the naughty step. So I think, quite frankly, and obvious, of course you are. And there's the end of the rainbow, and the ferry's sailing right through it. And this is the walk that you can take all the way round this area. Yes, Mike, I do hope you'll watch on catch up. Because you should. Shouldn't he, guys? He should, shouldn't he? There's a ferry dashing past. And you can see there, obviously, some of that glorious stone. And there is the end of the rainbow. Almost looks like it's a ray. And you can see, there is a little bit of a double rainbow there. A very faint outer line of double rainbow. Quite amazing. Thank you, Tricia. I wish the colours were even crisper. I'm very greedy for my rainbows. But you can see there that double effect. Is it? Oh, well, that's interesting, Nikki. Nikki's now saying it's the beginning. Is it the beginning? Is it the end? One doesn't know. I would always say left to right, so perhaps that would be the beginning then. Or maybe the beginning's in the middle. Mike was watching another tour in football. Yeah, well, I think you should be sorry, Michael. You see the umbrella flapping in the wind there. So obviously it was rainy and windy. The good news is, Mike, you've still got half the tour left. I don't know that I have. Oh, Linda's getting cremated and thrown in the ocean and swimming to France and Europe. Hopefully you do realise that ashes don't swim, but knowing you, Linda, anything can happen. And there is the other end, or the other beginning of the rainbow. Just going over there onto Supetar. I have read that somebody takes their family's ashes and spread a little bit wherever they go. Oh, Sue! Is Rolo okay? There you are. That's about as much as I could get of the rainbow without falling over. I love that we're talking about eating Linda's ashes. What a cheery thought. Well, Sue, I know you will watch up on catch up. So that's good. You can see we're actually returning to the beginning of where I started. And now we're going to go somewhere else. Why not? Because we can. Where are we going to go now? So we are going to go to... and we're going to get the ferry. We are going to leave Supetar. And it's almost like we're levitating, actually, if you didn't know better, but we are actually on a ferry. Now, the ferry from Split takes about 50 minutes. Wendy's father scattered her mother's ashes on their garden and then moved house. Gosh, you see, that's yes, no. Oh, thank you, Linda, for reminding me. That's usually Leslie reminds me to, if I can ask people to like the video. Thank you. And as you can see, as we sail away, sail away, sail away. And there we have. I've taken you round the cemetery. Oh, that man can move his elbow out the way. Thank you very much. You're now seeing the inflatables from the opposite direction. The most important thing, more than anything, and very seriously, is actually to make sure that people know what your wishes are. Because otherwise, if they don't know, it won't happen. And there you can see the mausoleum through the trees there. Yes, that was the great thing about the ferry, actually, because I'm not the best on the sea. But actually, they were very smooth journeys. Unlike when we went to Zakynthos last May, June, and Amy and I were on the ferry, and oh gosh, well, that was the last sailing they did because the water was so rough. But actually, it was quite fun. It was almost like it wasn't. I guess it was choppy. I mean, I guess it was choppy, but I didn't feel seasick. Mike, you're not allowed to have your ashes anywhere for a very long time. Thank you very much. Look at that beautiful view. Yes, Lena, I think that would be the perfect cemetery. The problem is I don't speak Croatian, so if I had my ashes scattered, I think I need to be in a British cemetery, because otherwise I don't want to be with other ghosts and I don't understand what they're saying. Although I guess there would be a long time to learn Croatian. Oh, see how cheery we are today. Wendy's choosing the music for a funeral. I've got mine. Who Wants to Live Forever? And I've forgotten the other two, so I'm doing well. Well done me. I have emailed my family and told them. But yes, can't remember. Of course, I guess your taste in music changes. But yeah, just looking at the waves here, it's just rather lovely. I dare say that it's all thought rather than speech, because obviously you wouldn't have a mouth, so therefore it would just be, would it be words? It's all very deep we're going here now. Yes. I do love that song. And I love the other song. Nikki will have Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. How lovely, how cheery. That would make me chuckle. Well, enjoy this piece, because in a moment I'm going to be sharing something. Well, actually, the piece has stopped now, I'm afraid. There can be only one me. There's only one anybody. Oops. Hello. Where are we going now? Right, so this is when I'm afraid I set you up with the peace and quiet, and I'm going to blast it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my volume up. Maybe not that high, I'm not that cruel. And I'm going to, as we were walking towards the town, this is what happened. This is obviously some sort of tradition. Make an awful lot of noise to go past the story. I think that's my sister. And we think what we missed was the very beginning of the procession, and we think it was actually likely a wedding procession. Then, of course, I want to share this with you because I just thought that was rather lovely. Just rather taken with that that photo. Little tabby on a window with lots of stickers on. And then we're going to be looking at, we've got some of the Brac stone, and look at those clouds. Aren't they fantastic? So I realise I'm staring and enjoying the photo, and I probably need to share another one. Now, you want another cat? Well, I'll be honest, there you are. Your wish is my command. I loved this photo because I thought that it was rather amusing. As you can see on the right, you can see the photo point. So you can take this photo. And who do we have who's wanting to photobomb all of these beautiful photos? We've got a lovely little black and white. So for those of you that can't see, if you look at the boat, there's a shrub just in front of it. And there's a lovely little black and white cat, which I found very amusing. Also slightly terrifying now I'm looking at it. It's rather near the edge. Now, as we then took a trip on a bus across the bowl, and what we did was we saw a deserted building which had all this street art. And you can see here just incredibly vibrant colours. And then you've got that one. You've got this one, which is made me chuckle, not particularly oh, I've lost the oh, why can I not? That's better. Shah, I felt that was very something that actually I could see down the down in Kent. This one, which is kind of not really my cup of tea so much, but really lovely colours. And then we've got that one, which you can see on the side. And then I've got a very short video because obviously I went into the building that was empty just so I could take a video for you guys. Yes, I do. I forgot I've still got the sound up, so I better quickly take that down before you'll hear me say something ridiculous to my niece. Don't step on anything! Because, of course, I do like to nose around in places like this. Oh, my niece will kill me. I thought I'd cut that bit out. Let's not tell her. She will kill me. This is in one of the shops. I thought you'd quite like to see this. That's brave to walk into an abandoned building. I always try and go off the beaten path and nobody savaged me. So I was all right. Again, just some interesting... Can you see the sheep? It's like, it's got sheep, cats and hedgehogs. I mean, what more do you need? What more do you need in your life? And these are the kind of shops, honestly, that there were in there. Some fantastic, fantastic bits and bobs. Actually, it's a shame. It's a shame I can't make this even bigger. But, oh, can you see here? Well, I didn't know I could do that. Family is a small world created with a lot of love. I think I've broken it now, unfortunately, and now I can't get it off. Oh, look. This is very exciting. Little cuties there, aren't there? It's not always responsive, but let me take it off. Right. Now, we went across to bowl, as I said. No, something else to show you, which I thought you might like. Who would like one of those in their garden? I think that's rather splendid. Probably a little bit heavy. And we get to see this view in Bowl. So I walked out to the beach, the famous beach in Bowl. And you've got that view, which, I'll be honest, is just... I could stare at that all day. I probably should print some of my photos out. Those clouds, the colours of the beach turning into the turquoise, turning into the deep blue, the greens, the blues, and the sky is just fantastic. And then we have, this is what Mike does at the weekends. Oh, we all need to go to South Africa. They sell those donkey planters everywhere. I thought that was rather fantastic to see. Not something myself or Ian Braisby will be taking up anytime soon. And then we have a video walking through by the coast. We're back in Supetar. And hopefully you can hear her. Who's Mike? Oh, Laurie, I can't believe it. Mike in the chat. Mike doesn't really do that every weekend, but that's what happens when you turn up late. So I've taken you from one end of the island to the other. Well, you can't remember this bit because this isn't actually from... Well, you can remember this bit, Mike. So I did indeed do a tour of this walk, but this isn't from the tour. There's a little bit of wind noise, unfortunately. I do need to purchase a new microphone. And now the Brac stone, obviously, is a pure white limestone. It's got few veins of water impurities, making it ideal for carving, which is obviously why it's so popular. It's really important to the island, and there's a legend, of course, about Brac stone. Legend says the island originally belonged to Artemis, the goddess of nature, wilderness, vegetation. Now, in her time, the island was covered with forests and full of many living creatures. It was so beautiful that Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, wanted it, and she persuaded Zeus to order Artemis to leave Brac. Now, Artemis, unsurprisingly, was angry, and in revenge she wiped out the forests and took all the animals, leaving only rocks. However, Aphrodite turned them into precious white marble to ensure her island would be known for centuries. Isn't that a wonderful legend? No, not you late, Laurie. Mike was late. Mike was, as everybody has noted, was late to the tour. And no, I didn't travel with Mike. Mike did join me on the tours, but virtually. I actually came with my sister and my niece. Well, I travelled to Croatia with my sister and my niece. But they are not necessarily explorers, so I did quite a bit on my own. I don't particularly like the heat either. So I think, the tour, Mike, when we went to the cemetery was originally pouring with rain. However, I think when I did this tour walk around, it was actually lovely weather, because I think the weather generally was good. And what's lovely is that this path, I mean, to be fair, once you actually get round the other side, it does kind of become more difficult to walk around. Well, especially this, obviously. I vaulted this for you guys. See, my bravery knows no bounds. I walk into abandoned buildings. I walk over trees that have actually quite a lot of spikes there. I traverse over tree trunks, and the view is just spectacular. So Linda says not to be morbid, which obviously means she's going to. If something had happened to me out in the wild alone, how would I be rescued? How would I be rescued? I would be rescued probably by Superman. From the no, he's not Marvel, is he? No, actually Thor, I think I would prefer to be saved by. Nobody would find me, Linda. Not until a few years later, by my gimbal. In the same way that if I go down to Sainsbury's on my own, what would happen to me? Fear not. I can trip over and knock myself unconscious just walking down my steps. I don't need to leave the house. Superman is DC, yes, you see, I knew he wasn't Marvel, that's why. But Thor is, and I'd prefer to be, I think Thor would be my preferred superhero coming to rescue me after I've tripped over something. Linda, you're not even fussy. You'd like Harry Potter. You'd like Thor. Anybody from Outlander. Well, exactly. So you would let people know, but I was just taking a video here. Nobody knew. My sister, I think, would have actually sounded the alarm when it came for dinner time. Should know I wouldn't miss my upteenth meal of the day. Trista fell out of the bathtub backwards once. It was not fun. Well, I'm not surprised it wasn't fun. Linda had a very hot paramedic when she broke ribs in Canada. I don't know if it was a warm day and that's why it was very hot. I didn't have anybody when I fractured my ribs. Feeling a little bit robbed. Well, I'm glad you'd miss me. Thank you. I'm not intending on, you know, to be fair. Claire fell over 3 times this week. Well, I say. Were you sober each 3 times? Each of the 3 times, even. You could just hear the faintness of the waves there. Well, as I said, faintness, it became quite noisier. Gray's niece, Claire, what am I going to do with you? Honestly. Been watching too many of Ian's tours. The clumsiness is rubbing off. So yes, I need to get myself, buying myself a new microphone before I do any more walking tours. So we can get rid of any pesky wind noise, but I still haven't got round to it. And the colours are really vivid, this green, isn't it? Everything looks better in the sun. Except for the moon, bum bum. I'm afraid to say this is going to be the last video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this collection of taking you around Brac Island. Oh, you can hear the wind there. Oh, it's like being in a wind tunnel. And the gap of the gap in that wall. Well, you say that, Linda, but actually there's probably hotels quite close. Probably as soon as you said that, Linda, we'll probably end up landing in some hotel. Oh, landing on the floor by the looks of it. No, I found a pretty yellow flower. Oh, I found another flower. You can tell when I'm stopping. I found something pretty. I don't go that fast, keep stopping to look at things. And look at this. So obviously you can see where they've built the walls with all that, those rocks or whatever you might call them. This is quite interesting. Expect some sort of cave dweller or something to pop out. The trees do look a little savage now I'm looking at it from this view. With their spiky ends. Actually nearly speared myself today when I was trying to walk past some would. Who's coming next Saturday? Saturday it is. Saturday. Please don't forget. We have an artist who will be showing us some stained glass artwork. Now, you've met the artist before. Tina, you won't remember this tour because this is not a tour you've been on. This is I have shared a collection of videos, a couple of short videos you'd already seen, but most that are all fresh and new to you. However, you have walked down this path before. Tina, you will need to watch on catch up because I deliberately included a map of the cemetery for you. I hope you had a nice brunch. I haven't eaten tea yet. I neglected myself. Trista, at least you'll watch on catch up. It really is going to be something else. Hopefully I won't break anything. So the picture that I've actually got in the YouTube, whatchamacallit, thumbnail, is actually a piece of work that she did. Of course, it's okay for Linda, who can just wander out and see the sea. Unfortunately, one thing I'm not close to is actually a beautiful coast. Medieval spinning tools, I say. Makes me think of the when she pricked her finger. The fairy tale. Can you hear the waves? I now understand the dog comment. Right, lovely, marvellous, cheeky monkeys. Well, I hope you'll watch it as well as on catch up, Wendy. It's a very much a one-off tour. Sleeping Beauty, thank you, Trista. I confess I know when the video started. I have no idea when it ends. I think fairly soon, so enjoy your waves as much as you can. Been a mix of everything, hasn't it? Oh, I remember the naked man when I was coming down last time. Ended up and there was a naked man, wasn't there, in one of these little areas. Oh, look, there's me. Did I go to beaches? No, not really. The water is waving goodbye. Yes. I'm more than happy sat by the pool, reading a book, and then take a dip in the pool. I'm not really keen on the sand. I like to walk on the beach rather than laze on the beach. Google Crufts, you will see. I'm sure all of your doggies would be winners, Linda. And there you have it. That is your lot. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. If you've been able to send me a little something, I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It really helps me enable to continue this virtual tour machine. I hope I'll see a few of you next Saturday. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your days, whether that be an afternoon, an evening or a night time. And I shall see you very soon. Take care. And good to see you, Nikki. Good to see everybody. You take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.